Good afternoon everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name's Lee, your virtual airline pilot, and back with you again for the second of this week's reviews. For those of you that did watch the intro, I have added my full system specs, which somebody politely asked me to do, and probably something I should have done a while ago. So in the intro there you'll see my full system computer specs that I use for these reviews and I use for flying on the computer. Anyway, back to the second of this week's reviews. Where are we? We're in Northern California on the United States, and you're looking at San Francisco International Airport in California. We're looking at the Payware Captain's Edition scenery by FLIGHTBEAM, as opposed to the other one which is out by Beautiful Model of the World and AMSIM. This is the FLIGHTBEAM Captain's Edition, and we're looking at version 1.1 for the PC version of Flight Sim 2020. It did release a small update, so it's version 1.1 at the moment. The download comes in at 665 megs and it installs at 1.84 gigs. It's currently available from both SimMarket and the FLIGHTBEAM store. I'll give you the prices from the FLIGHTBEAM store, which is where I made my purchase this time. Comes in at £17 exactly, that's including tax, which equates to $21.47 US, or €20.03 in the euro. US and euro prices are estimates taken from the UK pound. As I said, they do include tax or VAT at 20%, but which of course could vary depending on which country you're in when you make your purchase. I think it's a very competitive price for the product we have in front of us, and we will obviously have a good look at it. So let's have a look at the key features of this product. Okay, so key features. We have extensive, highly detailed and realistic textures, all 4096 by 4096 resolution. Detailed FLIGHTBEAM Gen 5 dynamic jetways. Not exactly sure what that is. It's probably the jetway specification that they've developed. We also have multi-layered realistic digital hand-painted textures with PBR custom decals. The VDGS system, that's the visual docking guidance systems, at various gates, A, B, E and the G gates. Detailed interior modelling, animated inset and elevated runway guard lights, or wigwags as we know them in Europe. A dense amount of custom tarmac objects modelled after actual objects from the airport. State-of-the-art optimization techniques bringing you the best possible performance. Custom coastline rock photogrammetry captured at the actual airport. That's new, so that's something interesting. We also got the AirTrain animation. San Francisco has an animated train, and they've also got a GSX profile for users of that utility, which they describe as a work in progress, and much more. Now I have GSX Pro, but at the moment I've disabled it because we have some issues with it. And the JETWAY test that you'll see later on is done with GSX Pro disabled. So quite a lot of features there. Let's get on to some history. So history then. San Francisco International Airport is a public use international airport owned and operated by the City and County of San Francisco. It is the largest airport in the San Francisco Bay Area and the second busiest in California after Los Angeles International. In 2023 it was the 14th busiest airport in the United States and the 30th busiest in the world by passenger count. It is the 5th largest hub for United Airlines, functioning as the airline's primary trans-Pacific gateway, and is a major maintenance hub. It also serves as a hub for Alaska Airlines. The City and County of San Francisco first leased 150 acres or 61 hectares at the present airport site on March 15, 1927 for what was then to be a temporary and experimental airport project. In the beginning, the airport was officially named Mills Field Municipal Airport of San Francisco. The City of San Francisco purchased the property owned by Darius O. Mills and his estate, along with the surrounding area, expanding the site to 1,112 acres, or 450 hectares, beginning in August 1930. The airport's name was officially changed to San Francisco Airport in 1931 upon purchase of the land. The international description was added at the end of World War II as overseas services rapidly expanded. The earliest scheduled carriers at the airport included Western Air Express, Maddox Airlines and Century Pacific Airlines. United Airlines was formed in 1934 and quickly became the key carrier at the airport, with the Douglas DC-3 service to Los Angeles and New York beginning in January 1937. A new passenger terminal opened in 1937, built with Public Works Administration funding. March 1939 official aviation guide shows 18 airline departures on weekdays, 17 United flights and 1 TWA flight. The first service by foreign carriers was the Australian National Airways operating Douglas DC-4s, flown by British Commonwealth Pacific Airlines, routing Sydney, Auckland, Fiji, Canton Island, Honolulu, San Francisco and Vancouver. The first flight left Australia on September 15, 1946. In 1947, Pan American World Airways began its round-the-world flights from the airport to Guam, Japan and the Philippines, China and other countries. The first non-stops to the US East Coast were United Douglas DC-7s in 1954. The airport's new terminal building opened in August 1954. The building became the central terminal with the addition of the South Terminal and the North Terminal, which was heavily rebuilt as the International Terminal in 1984, then modified again as the current Terminal 2. In 1966, Pacific Airlines began flying the new Boeing 727-100 jet aircraft from the airport. In 1961, the airport had a helicopter service on San Francisco and Oakland Helicopter Airlines, known as FSFO Helicopter Airlines, with 68 flights a day. A long-planned extension of the Bay Area Rapid Transit, or BART, system to the airport opened on 22nd of June 2003. Allowing passengers to board BART trains at the international domestic terminals and have direct rail transportation to downtown San Francisco, Oakland and the East Bay area. On February 24, 2003, the AirTrain People Mover opened, transporting passengers between terminals, parking lots, the BART station and the rental car centre on small automatic trains. In response to long-standing FAA concerns that the airport's air traffic control tower located atop Terminal 2 could not withstand a major earthquake, in July 2012 crews broke ground for a new torch-shaped tower. The new tower is located between Terminals 1 and 2, and the base of the tower building contains passages between the two terminals for passengers for both pre- and post-security screening, which dictated the narrow tower base. Originally scheduled for completion in the summer of 2016 at a cost of $102 million, the new tower began operations on October 15, 2016. So there you are, a major airport, very heavily used, a hub for many airlines. Lots of work was carried out over the years to bring it to what it now is. Let's have a look at the runway situation here. So runways, so for a change I've set it to the early dawn, so we get a situation where the sun's slightly behind us, which will make it a little easier. So San Francisco International Airport operates 4 runways. Runway 28 right 10 left is the longest, measuring 11,870 feet or 3,618 meters. Runway 28 left 10 right comes next, measuring 11,381 feet or 3,469 meters. Runway 01 right 19 left measures 8,650 feet or 2,637 meters, and finally runway 01 left 19 right measures 7,650 feet or 2,332 meters. All the runways are made from asphalt and they're fully grooved. The airport lies at an elevation of just 13 feet or 3.9 meters and sits within the GMT UTC -8 hours time zone. Now, like many US states, California does indeed observe daylight saving time, or DST, and with both California and the UK currently on summertime moving 1 hour ahead, the airport remains 8 hours behind the UK. So let's start with runway 28 right, 10 left, which is in front of us. We're looking at the threshold of runway 28 right, which features high intensity runway lighting, centerline lighting, touchdown zone lighting, airfield lighting system with sequence flashing lights, and precision approach path indicators on the left side. And from what I can see, we have everything that's correct. The PAPIs are there on the correct side. We've got the centerline. There's the touchdown zone markings. We have the center line extended here with the flashing sequence lights. This is all as per the chart. Approach options at 28 right, well, you have an instrument landing system and is certified to both category 2 and 3 low visibility operations. In addition, you also have an RNAV, GPS and RNP approach option with X, Y and Z options too. You also have global navigation satellite system, or GLS, approach option. I should say here, the global navigation satellite system dependent alternative to the instrument landing system, which uses a single GBAS airport ground station to transmit corrected GNSS data to suitably equipped aircraft to enable them to fly a precision approach with much greater flexibility. So essentially it's an alternative to the ILS and arguably slightly more accurate. So there you go. Let's turn our attention now to runway 28 left next door. So runway 28 left then, here we are looking down the throat of that runway, features the same high intensity runway lighting, centerline lighting, and this time you have medium intensity approach lighting system with runway alignment indicator lights. And as you can see, it's different for the runway next door. And again, precision approach path indicators on the left side, so all correct. Centerline and the PAPIs on the left, the correct approach lights, no touchdown zone lighting on this runway. Approaches available here, again you have an instrument landing system certified to category 2 low visibility ops. You have an RNAV GPS approach option, and again we have the global navigation satellite system, or GLS approach option, available on this runway too. So those are the two main runways, and these are the ones where you often see simultaneous approaches as well as takeoffs here. Let's move across to runway 19 left now. So here we are looking down the throat of runway 19 left, which features high intensity runway lighting, centerline lighting, touchdown zone lighting, medium intensity approach lighting with sequence flashing lights, and precision approach path indicators on the left side. So once again, it looks like it's pretty much correct. There's the PAPIs on the left, the lighting's correct, you've got the centerline, you can just see the touchdown zone lighting, and here you have the medium intensity approach lights. The only thing is they don't look as though they're flashing. In fact, yes they are, if you look very closely. Let's get down close enough. And there you can see they are in fact flashing, so all correct there. So approach options available here. You have a standard instrument landing system, an RNAV GPS approach option, and once again you have the global navigation satellite system, or GLS approach option here. So once again, 19 left is absolutely correct. Let's go next door, have a close look at 19 right. So here we are looking at runway 19 right, the high intensity runway lighting, centerline lighting and precision approach path indicators. Again on the left side, so once again all correct. PAPIs on the left, the centerline, the lighting, no touchdown zone lighting and no approach lighting on the edge of the runway here. And again this is correct as per the charts. And here you can see the rockery here that they've got in this scenery that they've modelled from the real world. Hopefully get a chance to have a close look at that later. So runway 19 right is all correct. So time to look at 10 right. So here we are looking down the throat of runway 10 right, which is the other end from 28 left. And you have again high intensity runway lighting, centerline lighting and PAPIs on the left. You've also got this displaced area, which again is shown on the charts. Approaches available for this runway, you have RNAV GPS Y and RNAV RNP Z approach options. No instrument landing system or other options available other than possibly a visual approach. Okay, so let's have a look at 10 left next door. So here we are, runway 10 left, which features the same high intensity runway lighting, centerline lighting, runway end identifier lights, and again PAPIs on the left. So these flashing white lights, these are the runway end identifier lights, the only addition to this runway which doesn't seem to feature on any of the others. But again, absolutely correct. PAPI's on the left, centerline there, and the lighting is correct. And again, this displaced area is correct as per the charts. The only approach option available here is an RNAV GPS approach to runway 10 left. No other approaches. So we'll have a quick look at runway 01 right and left as well. So here we are looking down the throat of runway 01 left. And again, you have high intensity runway lighting, the centerline lighting, and the runway end identifier lights which are there. You can see them flashing away there. You also have this displaced threshold area. Now there are no approach options for 1 left or 1 right. These are essentially takeoffs only. So quick look at 01 right. 01 right, essentially the same high intensity runway lighting, centerline lighting, runway end identifier lights. And again, on these two runways you have no PAPIs, no precision approach guidance, because of course you don't land on these two runways. There are no approaches available for these two runways, takeoffs only. So just one thing to note. You've got two other approaches for runways 28 left and right, known as the tiptoe visual approach. And I'll bung the chart up very quickly, but essentially it's a visual approach that that starts from the south and that lines you up with one of the two runways. So that's available. And also a very similar approach known as the quiet bridge visual, again for runways 28 left and right only. So there you go, that does it for runways. Let's do the JETWAY test now. Okay, it's the JETWAY test. So here we are on stand Bravo 13, Bravo 13. As usual, I have spawned directly from the menu. And if you look at the ground markings, which are excellent by the way, we've actually spawned in between two. Here you've got the marking for 737-600 and the A319. And here you've got the marking for the A320 and the 737-800, which is what we are. And it's got between the two, so it hasn't actually spawned right onto the marking. I don't know, you may have to move it. But anyway, we'll do the test and let's have a look. So first of all, you can see the JETWAYs look great. They really do look wonderful. They're properly weathered. They look so realistic. I'm really impressed with these JETWAYs. Let's do the connection and see whether it hooks up. So once again, brilliant wheel motion there. They turn and they're absolutely correct. And that looks as though the JETWAY is going to make a decent connection. Even the stairs haven't really gone into the concrete. That looks, visually, that looks like a brilliant connection. Let's get a bit closer. So there you can see the JETWAY is connected quite nicely. The stairs have barely gone into the concrete. That's really good. And from there, that looks like a really good connection. Let's check from the other side. I mean, that's impressive. From the outside, that's probably one of the best connections, JETWAY connections I've seen so far in any scenery. Pretty much nothing to complain about. Certainly from the outside, the hood hasn't gone through the aircraft. The stairwell hasn't really gone into the concrete at all. Visually, the JETWAY is connected despite the fact that we're not actually on the proper marker point. And also the wheels have turned in the correct direction. And the JETWAY itself looks fantastic. The weathering is impressive. So let's go inside now and have a look at the door situation. So there you go. Looking inside, that is really quite a good connection. The left side's gone into the skin a little bit, but the right side's pretty good. So now let's open the door and see whether it infringes the JETWAY. I've got an inkling that it probably will, but let's see. Well, that looks pretty good to me. Doesn't look too bad at all. Let's move out a little bit. Well, it's not a bad connection, to be honest, and it really is pretty impressive. It's close, but no cigar, as they say. So passengers can safely go in and out of here without a problem. The door opens okay, the jetway connection. From the outside, it's one of the best I've ever seen. From the inside, it's okay. You know, the hood's gone into the aircraft a little bit, but really that's the only real complaint. This has to be one of the nicest and most accurate jetway connections I've seen so far. So kudos to FLIGHTBEAM. They've done a really good job. So here we are looking out from the inside there. You can see the doorway at the end of the jetway. They're closed, and there's quite a bit of gap here, which has allowed us to see the door opening from that side without actually infringing the walls of the jetway. And once again, weathering everywhere you look. This all looks pretty real, and even the light works. It's very impressive. So here's a look at the jetway from the other side as it's connected to the aircraft, and I mean, you can't get better than that, can you? It looks really good. Visually the jetway is stunning, it's beautifully modelled. So let's disconnect the jetway. Once again the hood springs back, there's a slight delay. I mean, that's a nice fluid motion, no judders. That's really good. Look at the wheels, they stay within the safe area. And that's impressive. That's really good. So there you go, that was the jetway test done. Everything looks pretty cool on this stand, certainly. So let's once again get down to the scenery proper and have a good look over this and just see how it stacks up with the competition that's out there currently. Okay, so let's start the main tour and have a good look at this airport. It's 8:30 in the morning. We're starting from just to the right of runway 28 right, you can see in front of us, and we're going to pass over really kind of slow so you can get a look at the ground. I mean, the ground textures are brilliant. Runway markings, the grass. I mean, this really does look like San Francisco. Just trying to slow this down a bit. Come down a little bit lower. But as you can see, they've got, I mean, there you've got the guard lights as well on the runway flashing away there. I mean, they've got everything right. The detail looks beautiful. And the ground weathering looks great as well. So we come down a bit lower. Let's slow down a bit here. And as you can see, not much in the way of stuttering or juddering. Plenty of kit out there on the airfield. Terminals look great, and they're weathered as well. They're very weathered. We'll come back and check out the tower in a minute. There you can see a little restaurant come area there on the top. Here's the central terminal area. All nicely developed, but hardly any photo ground here. It's all been properly 3D modelled. I mean, everything looks really good. Now there's tunnels down there which we'll investigate. Many sceneries have the tunnels blocked, but I suspect these aren't. But the detail is excellent here. There's the animated train. Goes into the station. And you can see the details amazing here. A cargo facility down there, and now we're coming up to US Highway 101, which borders the airport. So let's just turn in this direction. And again, so much detail and hardly any stuttering or juddering. I have to say, I like this a lot. It's typical FLIGHTBEAM work. The work is excellent, it always has been. I mean, it's stunning. And there's the Air National Guard over there in the far distance. That's incredible. Very nice indeed. So this is United Airlines base. And we'll just have a look over here. Again, loads of detail, look. And the ground has been nicely developed. No photo ground sitting there. Very nice indeed. Here are the main hangars. It's pretty stunning. Can't get away from the fact that it really is impressive. And there you've got the fuel farm out there to the distance there. I mean, no matter where you look, the detail is excellent. Right down to the smallest of fences. They've included everything. So here you reach the sort of the edge of the scenery, but it blends in really well. It's a big multi-storey car park there to the right, and there down below you can see the entrances. And again, this has all been 3D modelled, nothing left to photo ground. It looks really good. The resolution is pretty impressive, and for once the ground traffic looks pretty realistic. So once again, this all looks pretty good. It's very difficult to find any complaints here. It's just stunning. It's really good. There's the animated train again. The Grand Hyatt Hotel. So there you can see the parking area down there to the left. Let's go look at the control tower. And as you can see from this shot, I mean, the stands and the central area is all beautifully modelled. So there's the tower from the outside, and here's the tower from the inside. And again, once again, a wonderful job here with the internal development of the control tower, but no controllers. I find this in a lot of sceneries. I just can't get my head around it. Why go to this length of detail, which looks fantastic? This is one of the best tower interiors I've seen for a while. Look at the computer monitors, all of this. And the computer systems all down here. I mean, it's beautifully modelled, but no controllers. No controllers at all. And there's another view looking out. I mean, it's beautiful. Been beautifully modelled. But, sorry guys, it needs a couple of people in here. And there's the tower from the outside. I mean, it looks great, doesn't it? And there's the building base that they talked about as well, that houses all the tunnels. Oh, it's pretty fantastic. So let's have a quick whiz down some of these stands. Here's where my aircraft is parked. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? It really is. Really nicely done. You got the weathering there on the jetways. Just stunning. So as we cross over here, let's have a look at the interior landside. And there you can see our animated train. It's a nice animation, to be honest. So here's the central part, cars parked all over the place, which looks pretty impressive. And you can see the animated trains. The ground markings are brilliant. And you got this great terminal here. I mean, look at it. From airside, it looks brilliant. And the roof structure is amazing. And here landside you've got all the road traffic and the signs. Amazing amount of detail here. Nothing left to chance. So let's have a look at the terminal landside. So this would be the approach road. And here you can see typical California police cars. Excellent, just as they should be. I wonder if we're going to see any people. Right, lots of cars, taxis, everything as it should be, but no people standing outside, which is a real pity. There you can see the animated train that will go into that station. And it stops. And starts again. Here comes the other one. Oh, it's a nice animation actually. It's the right speed. It looks great. So here we are on stand Bravo 13, just a couple of shots of the main ramp, which is what you guys are clearly going to be interested in. JETWAYs look great. We've already tested it and it works pretty well. As you can see, the terminal is in good condition. There's weathering there. There's plenty of ground markings. Here you can see the fuel bowser link up. Oh, it looks really good. And here from the other side, there you can actually see in through the glass to the terminal. In fact, while we're here, let's have a look up from the cockpit. So here's the view from the flight deck, and here you can see the visual docking guidance system actually works. It's showing the stand. So this is active. Those of you who've got the little module, you'll find that it works. And you can see into the terminal. This I think is going to look pretty good during the darkness hours. California Highway Patrol police car down there. Quick view from the captain's side. And there's a view from the first officer side. I mean, it all looks pretty real, doesn't it? And as you can see, looking down the stands, it's just fantastic. Everything you need. It really does look good. And there you can see the various places underneath the terminal where vehicles park, baggage system. Airside road looks really good as well. So airside, let's go in through the windows into the airside interior and have a look at what's been done. So just going in through the glass, you can see we've got a nice interior here with lots of hoardings. There's a travelator for you to walk along. And there's a view looking up the pier. As you can see, you've got the travelator here to save you walking. Various seats and stuff. No people, unfortunately. We'll have a quick look up here just to this end. It really is a bit of a ghost town, unfortunately. No people at all. But everything else looks great. There you got a little restaurant there. I mean, this has been really nicely modelled inside. It just suffers from a lack of people to add that little bit of realism. All of these images are high resolution, so it makes the shops look real, which is really good. You know, you've got everything here except people. So I thought we'd have a quick look at the train station from the inside here, or one of the train stations. Again, very nicely modelled, very accurately done, but no people waiting for the trains. And let's hang on here and see if we can catch a train coming in. And there it is. And off she goes. So before we have a look at the Harvey Mike terminal, just want to investigate some of these tunnels. And there, I mean, those beautiful patrol cars, beautifully modelled. Now here you've got these underpasses or tunnels. Just wanted to see if we can actually go through them or whether they're blocked. It looks like they can be, you can go through them. And indeed you can. No, you can't. Okay. So you get bumped up. That's a real pity. What about this other one? So you can see through them, and you could potentially go all the way to the other end, except that happens. Okay, so let's have a look at the Harvey terminal. I do like those cars. The models are brilliant. So we're coming up to the Mike Harvey terminal. Again, the signage is great. Everything down to the walkway signs. It's just lacking people outside. Car models are lovely. And all this for just £17. I mean, look, you go up close to them and they still look good. Landside modelling is excellent. No complaints really at all, apart from the lack of people. It's the only thing this airport needs so far. It's not a showstopper, but it is major. You know, nowadays with what FLIGHTBEAM 2020 can give us, and the fact that you can have people and animated models as well that have practically no frame rate hit. You know, you could bring this airport alive a little bit more. And that includes airside ramp staff. There's a plethora of people models to choose from these days. However, this all looks great, doesn't it? Just incredible. So let's go into landside of the terminal and see if anything's been done. So as you can see here, no internal development, although you have some kind of structure. But if we move to the right, you essentially go through the wall, and there you have airside. So there you go, we've had a reasonable look at the airport central area, both inside and out. And you can't argue with the modelling, it's fantastic, it really is good. The airport is really well modelled. To be honest, it just needs people to bring it alive a bit more. However, many of these airports look great in the dusk and darkness hours, so let's turn the lighting down to dusk and see what it looks like. Okay, 8:35 PM local time. It's July the 5th, 2024. And here we are with the sun literally gone down behind the mountains over here in the distance. Lights came on about 3-4 minutes ago, and as you can see, it looks great. It looks very nice and subtle. So there you've got the runway guard lights, you've got green centerline taxiway lighting, plenty of signage as well that's all lit up. And there you've got Highway 101 that goes past runway 10, runway 1 left and right here. I thought we'd have a quick look at the signage here. Here you can see green centerline lights, and they're of this quite nice architectural type, which I really like. It gives a better impression than some of the current crop. And here you've got wigwags that actually aren't switched on or don't seem to be working, but you've got the guard lighting here that works. There's a closer look. There's the threshold of 01 right here. Blue airfield edge lights, and you've got the wigwags working here as well as the guard lights. So that's quite nice. So here we are, Bravo 1-3, there's the aircraft parked there, plenty of lighting on the stand here. I like the way that the ends of the jetways are lit. You can see in through the glass. It's this kind of subdued glass, which you always have in places where you get powerful sunshine, and you can see the hoardings and bits and pieces going on inside there. No Asobo floating globes around, all the lighting provided by the correct lighting sources. It all looks pretty good. Quick look from the cockpit. So there's the view from the flight deck. It looks completely real. What else would you say about it? Looks great. There's the captain's window. And the view from the first officer's side. As you can see, no shortage of lighting. It all looks really impressive. Certainly on the stands. So let's have a quick pass over the central area from airside to landside. The lighting looks all natural, it really does. See if you've got the control tower lit. Beautiful lighting from the outside. And there you can see the inside of the screens inside the tower. And you've got partial lighting, not much really. Well, there's the animated train. Nice to see it's kind of lit up a little bit as well. It makes looks so much better when it's lit during the darkness hours. And there you've got that lovely lighting effect on the control tower. These places really do come to life in the darkness hours. It looks great. It looks lovely. There's a nice lighting contrast here in the centre part, where you've got the sort of tungsten yellow lighting there. There's the animated train to the right, and it's lit from the inside, which is so much more effective when that's done. There's so many sceneries that do animate the trains. The trains are just dark at night time. There's so many nice surprises about this airport. Beautifully done. And just so beautifully modelled. It's just excellent. Look at it. So let's have a quick whiz this side across to the United Airlines base. Again, lots of subtle lighting down here. All looks pretty good. You know, they've not left anything. They've done it all. Really does look good. And you can see the green centerline lights extend all the way into the base here. And you have this lovely contrast again where they use tungsten lighting. And little drop lights down here. Wonderful. It's just impressive. Really is. Just everywhere you look, fantastic detail. And even out here as we cross the bay, really isn't much in the way of floating lighting. It all looks pretty impressive. So that was dusk. Let's bring it down to night time and see how much the lighting comes up, if any. Okay, 10 p.m. local time, and as you can see the sun has gone now totally, and we're looking at the same view, and you can see plenty of lighting on the main terminal areas, taxiway areas, the central area. All looks pretty impressive here. And again, the blue airfield edge lights, green centerline lights. Taxiways are really individually marked quite nicely, so you shouldn't really have any problems. Let's have a close look at the ramp. So once again there we pass over the ramp, and as you can see there's plenty of lighting, really isn't going to be a problem. We go over the top here and have a look at the ramp on the other side. And once again, I really like the down lighting here, the way this has been done. Very nice. It just looks great. No matter what you say, it just looks great. Here comes one of the trains. See if we can catch it coming out. And there she goes. Beautifully lit as well. And there you can see the Grand Hyatt Hotel all nicely lit up with some good parallaxing as well that makes it look pretty real. And talking of parallaxing, I mean that looks impressive, doesn't it? I've done a lovely job. And that is such a nice view. And there's the terminal, all its glory. It's really impressive. Just a very quick pass over the building here. And there's the landside area. Again, it looks really good. There's just no people. We need to have people. But even on the roof, the detail is good. And there you can see two of the trains. Honestly, having them lit up at night just makes all the difference. And you've got that wonderful glow on the control tower building there. Train station down there below. Terminal 2. Okay, so that was night time. Very briefly, let's bring up the dawn, and if I'm in the right position, this should all work quite nicely. Okay, 6:05 in the morning, and here you can see they've got the sun's come up behind us, and you've got this lovely red glow on the airport buildings. Looks really good. There's the United Airlines base in the distance, and further in the distance you got the fuel farm. And the Oakland, Oakland Bay Bridge here in San Francisco in the far distance. Runways 19 left and right, threshold there to the right, and this area here. And there you have the threshold, Detroit left and right with the sun coming up in the distance. So here we are an hour later, it's dawn, and time to wrap up this review and give you my thoughts. Obviously, one of the questions you always get asked, do you think it's worth the money? Yeah, I would almost venture to say it's almost a steal. The only criticism I can find, the only one I can find, is the lack of people. They've gone to quite a length of development work on this airport. The airside lounges look great. Landside departures with the cars outside the terminals and taxis, all of which is there. But they are all crying out for people. It's the only thing I'd like to see added to this project. Other than that, you're looking at a really detailed, beautiful version of this airport. Arguably the best one, that's my opinion, having reviewed one or two others. It's stunning, and it's just 17 quid, or just under $22. You know, this has got as much detail, if not more, than the Hong Kong version by WF Studios, and they're charging €28 for it. I think it's almost a steal. It's a really, really good product, beautifully modelled, literally very little, no stutters or frame rate hit, and as I've said, I've included my system specs at the opening sequence of my video, which I'll do from now on. Yeah, it's a stunning airport. It's got everything. Everything is correct as per the nav aid, straight out of the box. That's a first for me. There's usually something wrong, but they've got it all exactly as per the real world and as per the charts. Can't find a single error. It's beautiful. It's completely stunning, and I love it, and it's crying out to be used. And at this price, go and get it. It's wonderful. It's very, very nice indeed. No complaints at all. No hesitation in recommending this as, for me anyway, currently the best version of San Francisco International, and it really does look good. So there you are, folks. San Francisco International Airport in California, Kilo Sierra Foxtrot Oscar. This is the Payware Captain's Edition version by FLIGHTBEAM, currently in version 1.1 for the PC version of FlightSim 2020. Download is 665 meg and it stalls at 1.84 gigs. You can get it from both SimMarket and the FlightBeam store. I bought mine from the FlightBeam store. And the price, £17 UK, which equates to roughly $21.47 US, or €20.03 in euros. The US and euro prices are estimates taken from the UK pound, and they include tax or VAT at 20%, which of course may vary depending on your country of purchase. Make no mistake, this is a stunning airport. It really is impressive. One of the best versions I've seen. But FlightBeam, if you're watching this, I do buy a lot of your sceneries, and I have done before, and I did buy this one. And I know that you generally don't hand out sceneries free to developers who have less than 5,000 subscribers. I'm nowhere near that. But I like to think I'm building a nice subscriber base, and maybe next time you might think about dropping one out for me so I can review it, because I do like your sceneries, like them a lot. And this is no exception. It's stunning. But if you're watching this, please consider maybe adding some people somewhere here and there. This is what FlightSim 2020 can give us now, and it brings an airport to life. Okay, as for the pilots, it's got everything you need. You don't have to worry about people. It looks great. But to bring this airport to life, it would be nice to see some people landside, some passengers landside and in the departure lounges, some check-in staff, and maybe some ramp staff too. But those are just my thoughts, really. It's a stunning project, and yeah, brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting my efforts to bring you these reviews. I hope you found them useful, and if you're toying between this one and one or two others that are out there, my opinion, and it's mine only, is that this is the best so far. You may have a different idea. By all means, let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching, thank you for joining me and putting up with my efforts here. I'm going to hopefully try and fly the 777 this weekend, and yeah, we'll see what happens. So all the best, thank you very much, and join me in next week's videos. So this is Lee, your virtual airline pilot, saying bye for now. I'll see you next week. Take care, bye bye.